So since I started my channel, I haven't had to talk about a loss. 8 weeks of perfection was awesome, but we all knew that wasn't going to last. It was only a matter of time. And truthfully, I mean, we could see it coming before Monday night for weeks. You know, the defense was carrying the offense majority of the season. You know, when we played the Arizona Cardinals, we did see the offense able to move the ball more efficiently, mainly because we had, two, pretty good pass catchers on the field, and Emmanuel Sanders and, George Kittle. And, you balance that with the run, which is getting shut down because of them loading the box, because, the Niners have been so incredibly efficient with the run. And the Niners were able to squeak out a win, even with the run being shut down, because they were able to move the ball in the pass game when they needed to. Then you fast forward to Monday night, and it was a completely different story. We didn't have Kittle, and I think midway through the first quarter, we lost Emmanuel Sanders, which to me was the biggest blow. And the pass game from that point on just hit neutral. I mean, it was pathetic. And the theme of the night really was drops. 9 drops. 9 drops. For a professional football team in the National Football League, that is there's no excuse for that. I mean, 9 drops by professional players. A lot of blame gets put on Jimmy Garoppolo, and, rightly so. I have made a lot more excuses for him, mainly because I feel like he gets so much of the blame. And yeah, he was pretty erratic, and at some points at the end, he was trying to give the game away with almost throwing 2 interceptions in a row. But it's not all on him. The offensive line played absolutely pathetic in that game. Our offensive tackles, who came back from injury, Joe Staley and Mike McGlinchey, played absolutely pitiful. I mean, that was just a horrible showing. And then you couple the fact that we had drops by guys who are, the young guys that we have that we're depending on because we're down, our top 2 stars, and nobody stepped up. I mean, Dante Pettis, to me, and I can't stand him because I think I've never had the feeling that he loved football. And it shows. I mean, he shies away from contact. He alligator arms a lot of passes. He disappears for stretches of games. And then he'll make one play and everybody's like, oh, see, we got to stop giving up on him. He's okay. No, he's not. He cannot be depended on. Then you look at a guy like Kendrick Bourne, who pretty much, he's like hot or cold. He either makes big catches and is able to move the ball, or he just completely, I don't even know how to explain how I felt Monday night with the last drop that pretty much cost us the game if you think about it, because it would have got us closer in field goal range. And it's just that kind of stuff that is still happening 3 years into this regime, where these guys are still on the team. Less Pettis, more Kendrick Bourne. It just, we went into the season and we drafted 2 receivers in the draft. And I like Debo. I think Debo is going to be fine. He has a little bit of the dropsies too, but he also makes plays. We haven't been able to see our other draft pick because he's been injured with the back issue that he's had. But I'm looking forward to Jalen Hurd if he does ever come back and seeing what he could do. He has size too. It's just something we lack in the pass game. I don't think we have anybody over 6 foot in the wide receiver core. Kittle, is a tight end, so I'm not going to count him. So we've had to depend on guys that we're going to be farther down the depth chart, and I feel like we're paying the price. It's hard because your defense makes so many plays for you in the game. Greenlaw had the pick, returns it to midfield, And I'm sitting there watching the game with my nephew, and neither of us had any faith that the offense was going to do anything. And that's sad. In some ways, I feel like we're going backwards in time to the Harbaugh era a little bit when we had Alex Smith at quarterback at some points where the defense would just carry everything, the defense in the running game. And like sometimes we'd have to depend on the pass game and he'd come through, and then there'd be other times where he wouldn't. And that's like, you look at the great teams in the NFL that have like top tier quarterbacks, and it's like their fans don't worry about stuff like that. But with us, we have to. I mean, I'm not putting this all on Jimmy. I think Jimmy is erratic and at some points tries to give the game away. But there's also times where Jimmy throws dimes and guys just don't catch it. I'm not going to be the guy that's going to bury Jimmy like some fans who just say, he's a bum, he's not worth it. I'm not going to be the Stephen A. Smith who has this narrative going against Jimmy Garoppolo. Is Garoppolo arrived at in his career? No, he's got a lot to work on. But to say he's the sole reason why they lost that game is ridiculous. Their defense made enough plays for them to win. Definitely. Jaquaski Tart with that strip at the goal line was just ridiculous. The fumble recovery by DeForest Buckner was ridiculous. The interception by Dre Greenlaw was ridiculous. And our offense couldn't do nothing for them. 9 drops. Tons of QB pressure. Erratic quarterback play. The running game not working. All those things, you put that all together, and if they don't clean that up, when they go against better teams, which are common, my confidence is shooken a little bit. If they can somehow, manage the storm and, they get Emmanuel Sanders back and Kittle back and Debo can keep making plays like he's been doing and the running game can get back into gear and McGlinchey and Staley can get their act together. Staley I'm not as confident in because I think he's kind of lost it. He's old. I think we've seen the best of Staley, but if those guys can step up, then my confidence will grow. But right now I'm a little shooken by the loss. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna blame it all on Garoppolo. It's just not all his fault. He is to blame partly, but there's other things that we have to take into account. And honestly, we have 7 games left in this season. It's on us. We control our destiny. You're either going to fold under the pressure of somewhat being exposed, or you're going to step up and meet expectation. We have already won more games than we were predicted to this year. So in a way, anything we do is pro bono. It's bonus. But I don't want to look at it like that. Super Bowl windows open and close quickly. And ours is open a little earlier than expected. And you got to go for it. You have to go for it. And if you don't, you're an idiot. And they built this roster the best they could. But you got to depend on the guys that you have. You got to ride with the guys that you have. And guys got to step up. And let's see going forward if they do. I'm cautiously optimistic. But at the same time, I'm a little worried. Actually, I'm a lot worried. So we'll see going forward what transpires. But still a lot of season to go. A lot of things can happen. Teams can drop out that we think are going to compete with us, and it can make it easier for us. Who knows? It's all a wait and see. So that's going to do it for me. I just got right into it today. No intro about it being a quick take or anything like that. I just went into it. For any of you who actually click on my channel and listen, I appreciate it. For anybody that has subscribed, I appreciate it. Tell a friend about it. All I am is just a fan talking. I'm not trying to be professional here and drop a bunch of facts on you. I'm just having some fun, recording myself talking about my 49ers. And if you appreciate it, if you'd like to join in, hit me up. We can do a roundtable type discussion thing. We can go live and do it. I'm down for anything at this point. I just like talking about the 49ers. So that's going to do it. Thanks for clicking, if you did click on my video. And I'll talk to y'all next time. See ya.